Welcome to the Powerline Podcast, the official podcast of Greystone Power. I'm your host, Emily Young, and today we're talking about Greystone's participation at the Georgia Lineman's Rodeo. So, let's get started on episode 43 of the Powerline Podcast. As it says on the official Georgia Lineman's Rodeo website, this event brings electric utilities from across the state together to compete. It is a demonstration of line worker apprentices and journeymen competing for recognition and practicing their skills and knowledge on the field. Today, we'll be speaking with line foreman Matt Williams and journeyman lineman Sam Albright about their rodeo experiences. Hi, Matt and Sam. Welcome to the podcast. Matt, tell us a little about what you and Sam do in your roles at Greystone.
Hi, I'm Matt. I've been at Greystone for 24 years. Right now, the role I'm in, I'm a coordinator. I look over underground services, light fault, just different types of stuff through the system.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a journeyman lineman at Greystone. I've been here around 15 years, and right now I serve on an underground crew, putting in underground power.
May 4th was the Georgia Lineman's Rodeo. Sam, can you explain a little about what the rodeo is and why it's important?
The rodeo is a day put together through all the co-ops and city power companies through the state of Georgia, and they'll put a different events together, kind of test your skill level, and it's actually really good for training as well.
How long have you each been participating?
It's about my 23rd year that I've participated in it.
This will be my 16th year.
This was my first year attending the rodeo, and I had so much fun. It was really amazing to see linemen from all the different EMCs working so quickly, even under the rain and hot weather we had this year. What do you each enjoy the most about the rodeo?
One of the main things I like is the family atmosphere. You get to spend time with your family and your working family, and then plus, just the training aspect of it.
Matt, I heard you had some special moments during the rodeo this year. You were allowed to participate in several events climbing with your son, who works for Carroll EMC. How did that feel? What were these events?
It was a special moment for myself, to be able to climb with my son, and then glad that Greystone and Carroll allowed us to do it. We did the whole rodeo together. The Hurt Man Rescue, one of the events we've done is simulating somebody injured on the pole. We had to go up and get them down safely and do it under 4 minutes. And then another one was arm rod change out. And then there's 2 other events we done. You got to do it together on, and it was a good day. No matter if we'd got first place or last place, I won that day, being able to do it with him. So it was a special day for myself.
Sam, you also had the opportunity to participate on the same journeyman team along with Matt and your father, who served as the coach. What was that like?
It was fun. We had a lot of fun. Me and my dad participated together about 10 years ago, the same thing that Matt and his son did. It was a Carroll team, and so we actually got to climb together too, just like they have. That's a little more special than actually rodeoing together, the coach,
How did you guys do on that event?
We actually we did 4 events, and through the 4 events, we got 100 points on each event, so that's a total of 400 points. And after that, it's based off of time, depending on how well you do in the rodeo, but we actually got 3rd in one of the events, what they call a mystery event. We don't know what it is until we get down there.
Greystone typically sends teams that do well at the Georgia Lineman's Rodeo on to Kansas City to compete at the International Lineman's Rodeo. Will we have linemen competing there this year?
We will. We're going to send 2 teams and 6 apprentices to Kansas City. So Greystone will have a good showing out there.
Yeah, the Kansas City is a little more intense as far as the events and all go. The events are a lot more difficult. The weather's usually not as good, so it's usually rainy and cool that time of year because it happens in the middle of October. The apprentices actually had to take a test out there too to test their knowledge, so it's difficult, a lot harder than Georgia is.
Then also out there in Kansas City, there's teams from all over the world to compete. You'll see some things done way different what we do it. It's like I said, it's from teams from all over the world that come to Kansas City. So.
Yeah, I guess they call it International Lineman's Rodeo.
Well, we will wish the best of luck to those competing in Kansas City this year. Speaking of the International Lineman's Rodeo, Matt, in 2012, you served as the coach with a team that won overall at the International Lineman's Rodeo. What was that like?
It was fun. We had a good time. Like Sam said earlier, the weather was terrible, but at the end of the day, it was fun being a part of that team, even though I was a coach. But one thing about it, Tony Brown, he was on that team, and he's actually still participating in the rodeo. And he's actually on like a normal year. When I didn't rodeo my son, it's usually Sam and Tony climbing and me grounding. So it was special to be able to do it with Tony out there and see him win.
I'm glad you guys were able to not only win the rodeo, but spend quality time together and make some great memories. Now let's talk a little about your position at Greystone. Sam, what's your favorite part about working at Greystone?
Putting smiles on faces.
Well, I'm sure our members appreciate that. Okay, so we always ask everybody the same last question. Is there anything else you'd like to tell our members?
We love you and we need you.
There ain't nothing else I can say about that.
Unfortunately, we're all out of time for today's episode. Make sure to check us out on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and X, formerly Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast, available on our website, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Thanks for joining us for episode 43. We'll catch you next time on the Powerline Podcast.